What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the Parrot Press. Today, I need your help. There's a few things that are going around my head, a change of strategy, a few dilemmas. We're going to be looking at current game week, next game week, having a look at my gallery. So, first things first, current game week. Not great to be honest. I thought I had a good shot at some reward here, to be honest. Nashville, I wasn't expecting them to lose last night. So obviously, for guys who don't really follow the MLS, there was a midweek for the MLS, most of the MLS teams. And I put these teams out. So Joe Willish and Lovitz basically didn't really do the job. They done all right from AA, to be honest. But obviously, you need them big spikes in order to be finishing high up. Kai Wagner, yeah, not very good at all. I mean, even a minus AA for Kai Wagner, who's meant to be one of the best defenders in the league. But he did win me a reward last week, which I'll come on to and what I've done with that reward. So, not too bad in terms of his performance so far. You know, 2 game weeks and he's earned me a big reward. But Osorio come back in. He goes off to the Gold Cup now, so be careful if you do own this guy at any scarcity. He does go off now into the Canada camp, I believe. So I won't be able to get use of him. But it was the first time. You'll see here, I'll come in on to purchases and updates as well in the gallery in a moment. But you'll see that there's a big signing for me, Lorenzo Insigne, which I am happy about because I'll go into more detail. But even when they just get spanked 3-0 from Cincinnati, he's still come up with some good AA. So yeah, not a great one. I've actually done it though, guys. I have hit the threshold for the first time in probably the best part of, 2.5 months, something like that. I mean, I know that I've not been prioritizing it, but it's the first time that I got it. We got Bendik in there, is another pickup of mine. I'll explain it all in a bit. Brooks Lennon coming up with the 91st minute assist, doing what he does, putting the ball on a plate for oncoming runners. We've got Espinoza there picking up, I think he's negative AA. Yeah, 11. Wow. If he doesn't get that, I mean, he's got a horrific score, really. But Espinoza comes in, gets the assist. We got Tommy and Russell. I paired up on them. I knew that Russell might not be back, but I knew that he'd play a part. Tommy getting the assist, which is good. And then my last team that I'm going to kind of talk about is the All-Star Rare Pro team, which I put out. And I was quietly confident about this one as well. We had Houston at home to San Jose, and they only scored from a set piece from an Espinoza, really good ball at the front post. But I was expecting a clean sheet there. So Clark, Sviatchenko and Herrera doing what he does. The guy's an absolute animal at the moment. And Houston are really, really good at the moment as well. So I captained him. He came up with a 97. Got Brooks Lennon there, we've already spoke about. But Sviatchenko, a little bit disappointing. He did hit the post, so obviously that would have rocketed his score along with Ferreira with that delivery in. And then Buanga, I'm not sure what's going on with Buanga at the moment because his last run, I know the DMPs because of international break, but even before that, it wasn't ideal. Hopefully he can get back to where he was a few weeks ago. Otherwise, he's letting that kind of top goal scoring, that golden boot, etc., MVP, whatever awards they've got out in the MLS disappear. So that's where we are. A little bit disappointed. I was up at like 2 a.m., 3 a.m. last night watching these games, and it's annoying when you don't get any returns, but I can't complain with the threshold. So moving on, we're going to take a look at, in my last video, I was talking about what do I do with Aaron Ramsdale? Do I sell him? Do I keep him? Do I build something for next year? What I decided to do was sell him. I sold him for, what was it, 0.55? No, 0.52. Yeah, 0.52. Looking in the wrong place. 0.52, which I thought was pretty decent. I don't know if he's been sold since then. Yeah, he has. So a little bit more, 0.55. So yeah, missed out on a touch. But I wanted him out of the gallery because, as I said, I wanted to bring in, I've already shown you, but Insigne. So yeah, Aaron Ramsdale left. I think it was the right move. Appreciate all your comments on that video as well about kind of advising what you would do in my situation. And I think that we married together quite nicely with our decision making there. And hopefully I can get some of your guys' thoughts, as I said, on what's to come in my gallery next. The next one is I sold Steve Clark for 0.205. Reason why I sold this guy is because I had another one, basically. I traded him out again a few videos back. I explained that trade, but I had another one of him to get him out, get the ETH in, give me a good balance and to move forward. Then I've picked up for the game week that we're currently in, right, the midweek one. I picked up Bendik because Andre Blake is probably out, I would say, for the next 3 to 4 games. I see Jamaica doing okay in the Gold Cup, so they should carry on. And obviously he's away in international duty, so Bendik's going to come in. I picked him up for 0.08, and I just still feel that, I mean, he's already won me a threshold back. So let's call it 0.06. And I think that in the next couple of game weeks, Philadelphia haven't got a bad run. Let's take a look. So next game week, like this upcoming weekend, is a really good one. Atlanta away, but Galaxy at home, I feel as though they can get something. Sorry, Galaxy being at home, but Philadelphia being away. I feel as though they can get something. So just tried my luck on there, and eventually I might want to pick up a Blake anyway. So at least I've got, at least I'm handcuffing with the second choice goalkeeper. So picked up Bendik. Then I picked up, as I said, Insigne. This was the main one. I picked him up for 0.411. I don't think he's been sold since, unless it's a trade. But I was throwing some questions out in Discords and everything. So if I was annoying people with that, my bad. But I really like to get people's opinions. I mean, I have my own mind. Don't get me wrong. I'm not like, I've got my own mind. Let's just say that. However, I do like listening to other people, hence why I kind of make these videos, and I like reaching out to you guys and the Sorare community as well. But there was a number of forwards that I was looking at, and I watched a recent video on Sorare TV where Zada's fan club, I think it's Jakey J on Discord, but he just ripped apart Tripping B's gallery. And there was a few things in there that I really picked up that were really helpful in terms of, let's go for the stack and whether it's a midfielder and a forward or whether a defender and a goalkeeper. I've kind of always done the defender and goalkeeper, but I really haven't got into, apart from Tommy and Russell, which again is a recent pickup, I haven't really applied that. And I've got a Sario super rare, so it kind of makes sense to pick up an Insigne. The other people on the list were people like Gustavo Boo, which I still might pick up to pair him with the Carlos Hill. But the other people were Chucho Hernandez, but obviously he's a bit more expensive. There was like Ben Teke that was on there. If I wanted to go in a different path, there was quite a few different people that I was going to look at. But Insigne ticks the boxes for me for, as I've said, it's all about ticking boxes for me in previous videos. And he takes some sets. Gets good AA. He doesn't really kill a lineup. He scores. He assists. He's a key player of them. He plays 90 minutes when he's fit. And you can even see in his last 5 or 6 games, he's probably averaging, I mean, I'll tell you exactly what he's averaging, 16 points for a forward. Yes, it's expensive, but I think that in the rest of the season, however many games are left, let's call it 20, 25 or whatever, I think that he reaps me some rewards, and hopefully I can get that 0.4 back, and then, crack on with next season with him, because I do really like him. And he's entertaining to watch as well. I enjoy buying players that I enjoy watching. So that brings you up to date with my gallery. And then we're going to talk about where we are now. So a few things have been going through my head at the moment. I don't know whether to stop the spending spree, whether to just, deal with what I've got. I probably need to bring in a goalkeeper unless Eloy Room comes back. We'll go in player by player in a minute. But do I just stop there? Do I move into Europe now? Do I start prepping for next year? Try and pick up a couple of bargains while there's still, best part of 7 weeks, maybe 6 weeks left until we get into Europe. Am I done with America, my MLS gallery? Because a thing that I was thinking is that, and this is when I'm planning and when you're using the lineup builder and stuff, what competitions should I or do I want to be playing? All-Star Rare Pro is kind of like my number one go-to. And then you've got the America Rare Pro, which I like to have next. And then maybe All-Star Rare and then Cap 240. And then after that, maybe Champion America Rare if I have enough players. And Recently, I haven't, to be honest, because I haven't got that extra goalkeeper at the moment. But then after that, if I've got 6 super rares playing, I'm only really playing 4 of them. And yeah, great, play the matchups, but I don't really like having super rares just sit out and not be doing anything and putting them in an academy lineup. So that made me think, well, should I make that step up to super rare? Or should I just stop where I am, play the matchups with the 6 super rares and with all of the rares that I've got for America, and then just focus on different areas and then try and build a Challenger Europe, or maybe even venture into Champion America, or what? You can see kind of where my head was at with this, because after All-Star Rare Pro and America Rare Pro, I don't really want to be playing, what is it, Super Rare Cap 220, I think you can have a rare goalkeeper in it, yeah, which I would, because I haven't got a super rare goalkeeper. And after that, or do I just make the jump and do I just step up and try and buy a super rare goalkeeper and just invest more and more in super rares? And that is something that I do want to get to, but I don't know whether to be prioritizing that now, sell a couple of people and get into it, or as I said, be preparing for Europe next year and just expand the gallery and be done with it. Because if I look at, let's just go by, that should cover everything that I've got. Champion Europe and Challenger Europe. Actually, I've got Division 2 in there as well, so Second Division Europe. So I've got Unistal. I don't know why they've disappeared. There we go. I've got Unistal in there, which he's not going anywhere. I think he's a great goalkeeper. He might even get a transfer. Who knows? But he's not going anywhere. I do like him. Raul Fernandez, he looks like he's going to be losing his spot, but he won me like a Jude Bellingham. He won me some other things. So I'm just going to keep him in there. You never know what's going to happen there. And then Mark Martinez, you can see here that he's, well, it's not massive, but his last few sales have been more than what I paid for him, because I think they've sold their number 1 goalkeeper to somebody else, and he is the actual club captain, so he should be starting next year. So out of them, I might have, let's say, 1.5 left. Yeah, because it's a bit of a punt. Then defenders-wise, I've only got Smell to pair with Unistal. And then we've got Teddy Tuma, who might be on the move as well. So that's a shame to see, that big price drop there. But again, from a reward point of view, let me just filter by me. He's done okay for me. I mean, he's done more than okay, right? He was in that Jude Bellingham lineup. He won me. Who else did he win me? It was kind of important. Well, not really, but anyway, he won me Jude Bellingham, so I can't complain with it. And then Taylor Booth, he might, apparently Manchester United scouts was looking at Taylor Booth, but I've got his one of, and I'm just going to build him up and then see where his career goes. I've said in the past, he's come from Bayern Munich's academies, so let's see where he goes. Or whether he stays there, and whether because they're picking up some really key players actually for next season. So if he stays there, I fancy him to do okay in the Dutch league. And then we've got 2 players here who are not going anywhere. Griezmann, even though he's rocketed up, I don't think he's actually sold for the best part of an Eve, but his kind of top price was 0.75. I think I paid 0.449, something like that for him. I don't know, it's probably on there, right? Oh, it's in the trade. And then got Vito in there as a super rare. I think he's a great super rare. Again, shout out to the So Rare data with LED and PSU fans too, because that was a really good show for me in terms of when talking about good super rares, or I don't know what way around they had it, but talking about super rares and how to look for them. And I think that they missed this guy out maybe from a forward point of view, because he has good AA, and if we done it by kind of PSU fans, let's go by Sparta, by his method in terms of L40, and let's go for just starts. I mean, his L40 is 61.2. So again, you add on that 20 to 25% or whatever, he's averaging, well for a forward. Yes, you could probably get somebody better for whatever he's going to cost you now, 0.8. But I do like him as a forward. I enjoy watching him play. And I think that he could potentially be getting a move to a bigger club in that league. if not this summer, potentially in the winter if he carries on with his form. So that's all I've got. But then if I'm coming on to like my America and Asia cards that I've got, let's start with a goalkeeper again. So Joe Willis, he pairs with my Lovitz, right? So I'm happy with him. Steve Clark, he pairs with my Sviatchenko, with Herrera, etc. And I think that for his price, I think he's kept the most clean sheets this season, or at least in the last 15, something like that, that I was looking at. And I like him. Bendik, I've just brought in to pair with Wagner to give it a pump for 3 or 4 game weeks. It didn't kind of break the bank, so to speak. And as I said, eventually, potentially, maybe getting in a Blake to pair with a Philly defender. And then we've got Eloy Room, which hopefully, guys, if you've been holding him as long as I've been holding him as well, because I banged on about this guy before the season even started, because he was just locked in. He's played for so many games. And then all of a sudden, he got injured. And then, what's his name? Is it Patrick Schulte? Just come in, kind of blew him out of the water. But he has played recently for his nation. So I'm hoping it's going to be an interesting turning point, actually, when it comes to this weekend, whether he's going to be on the bench, potentially starts or whatever. If he's not on the bench and he doesn't start, and he's already played 120 minutes for his country, then maybe there's a falling out of the club. Maybe he moves, and then I can make a decision whether I need to trade him in or just stick it out and see where he goes. But they're the 4 goalkeepers I've got. Now, if we look at it realistically, right, these 2 over here, they're going to be, well, Eloy Room might come into the fold, as I've just said, but Bendik's going to go away. So then I've only got 2 goalkeepers that are starting. So I think I am missing a goalkeeper. Even if I wanted to stop spending on the America regions, I think I am missing a goalkeeper a little bit. But then coming on to defenders, and I'm all right with this area. I mean, this guy at 1, I think that he's really good. I think he's a little bit undervalued at the moment, considering that he can have these spikes, and it's just from an AA point of view. 52 AA here, 45 down there, and he had the assist. And again, it kind of makes sense for me to have him in there in case Toronto's got a one-off game week, and I've already got Osorio, I've already got Insigne. I don't mind him, whatever. He's cheap. Kai Wagner in there. There's still talk, and there's still some, I'm in and ahhing about what he's going to do at the end of his contract and stuff, but nobody bought him or went in for him last year or the beginning of the year, whenever it was the off season, basically the winter period. Nobody really kind of submitted a bid, or from what was seen on Twitter and all the transfer experts, nobody really said anything. So even if he runs down his contract, like where does he go? I'm not sure. And whether that's a risk worth taking, as I said, I'm definitely going to keep him for the next couple of weeks, because I'm pairing him with Bendik and they've got okay fixtures. But he's in there. We've got Lovitz going nowhere, underrated. I love him. Matthew Reel was just back up for Wagner. Brooks Lennon, I'll probably want to sell maybe the rare card of Brooks Lennon. He's still in the top 3. I think it's Lovitz, Wagner and Brooks Lennon for the kind of key stats that I look at. So I think he's a good card, but I don't want to be killed in 2 lineups if I'm playing him in 2 and I kind of putting him in a priority, and then he flops and 2 lineups down. Sviatchenko, he's in there. Been disappointed a little bit at Houston. I'm expecting him to, come on a little bit. He needs to do a little bit more. He did hit the post, as I said, and in the game before that, I think that his shot was saved, and then Michael just come in at the back and then just tapped it in. So his centre defensive partner, should I say, just tapped it in. Zimmerman, I'm probably going to sell him. Or I think I should sell him. I don't know. Let me know what you think. Because even if I had... if Lovitz has got a good game, I'm putting Lovitz and Willis into some sort of All-Star Rare Pro or some sort of America Rare Pro. Am I going to go then kind of balls deep in terms of putting Zimmerman in there and really praying for that clean sheet? Or, when we come on to my midfielders, and I'll come on to them now, but just to finish with Bartlow, he's just in there for basically threshold. But then if I was to put in, like, my midfielders, I'm really happy with this from a America point of view. Zelarayan, like, great. Obviously, Hill, great. Herrera, great. Tommy, great. Gressel was a super rare. Yeah, great. Espinosa's in there. I'm probably going to potentially sell him because I don't kind of link him with anybody else. Osorio, a good super rare as well. So for that extra spot, am I really going to be putting in another defender and just praying for a clean sheet? Especially in the last season and a half, Zimmerman ain't been the guy that he was before. So I'm not going to go into each of one of these because I've already just said I really like them. And then from a forward point of view, we've got Insigne in there now to pair. We've got Mateus in there, who I think is a fantastic option for a forward. Again, ticks that AA box. Corey Bed, I mentioned in the last few videos. Bunbury, yeah, he can go. He's one of the worst football players that I've seen. Every time that I watch Nashville, and I've almost become a bit of a Nashville fan now, the ball just it's like hitting a brick wall, just comes straight off of him. His finishing is poor. I don't know, he's probably a really nice guy, right? And I'm just shitting on him, but I think that he's not good. He's just not good. Johnny Russell is in there as well to pair with Tommy, and I like Johnny Russell AA, and then we got Buanga in there I've already spoken about today as well. So that's why I'm thinking, am I literally missing maybe one more forward if I want to get 5 lineups out there? Maybe a Gustavo Bou, or Bo, however you say his name, and pair him with Carlos Hill. Maybe I need another goalkeeper and a defender stack if I get rid of Zimmerman or if I get rid of Brooks Lennon. Or do I just use whatever funds that I've got now to plan for next year? And as I said, that's kind of where I need your help or your advice or your thoughts around where my gallery's at, where I should be moving to. Or should I just scrap all of that? Sell some of my gallery. Sell Wagner, sell Lennon, sell Zimmerman, sell Espinozo, sell who else is in here that I want? Buanga, potentially. And then just go into Super Rare. Maybe play a champion Super Rare, like Champion America Super Rare lineup, and see where I go. I'm not sure at the moment. I mean, I'm pretty sure in the next couple of days, I'll make my own mind up. But it'd be good to know what you guys think on that. And that's the thoughts on my gallery at the moment. But I know this is a long one, guys. So if you are still with me and you've watched every minute of this, please hit the subscribe button. Please hit the like button. That would really, really help the channel grow as everybody wants it to. But moving on to the upcoming game week and what my team looks like, or what my sides look like. This one here, I am really looking forward to. We've got a home fixture for Philadelphia, a AAA for Kai Wagner. We've got Bendik in goal. Hopefully he can just hold on for that clean sheet. That's all I'm asking for him. But then we've got Zelarayán. Yes, it's against Nashville, but Zelarayán has been in unbelievable form. He's probably, maybe along with Carlos Hill, but he's probably like the one to own in the MLS league at the moment. He's just been unbelievable. But AAA fixture for him. A AAA fixture for Mateus as well, Mateo Castro. Even though it's away from home, but it's AAA for a reason in terms of the matchup scoring issue. I mean, you can see their projected lineup. The one that I was thinking about swapping out for him, I'll show in a moment, but potentially was Buanga. But form-wise, he's not been great. And if Buanga doesn't score, he's pretty shit. Carlos Hill in there doing what he does with the captain's armband because he's got the home fixture against Toronto, and Toronto have been pretty poor of late. So from an all-star point of view, I'm really, really happy with this. I've got a really good feeling about it. And the last time I had a good feeling about a squad, we come fourth in All-Star Rare. So fingers crossed that can happen again. Moving on to All-Star Rare Pro, a little bit of it's not a throwaway when you've got the likes of Insigne and Herrera in there, but they're all away from home. And we know in the MLS that's a kind of a big disadvantage, really. We've got Steve Clark and Sviatchenko. I need to keep an eye on Sviatchenko, so he come off at 62 minutes. I don't know if he was struggling with anything, or maybe it was the heat or something like that, but he looked a little bit sluggish at the end of the game. So I do need to keep my eye on that one. I don't think I've got another super rare to actually throw in there. I might need to only play... I've already got a champion rare. Maybe it's Lovitz that comes in then. I don't know. But Herrera in there, key part of there with Insigne and Brooks Lennon as well. So All-Star Rare Pro, not too bad. We'll see what happens. And then this is where I was thinking about a new goalkeeper and a new defender, that stack. Because if I was to play Champion America Rare, because I don't want to be playing only one Super Rare, which is my Lovitz in America Rare Pro, Although even it would look very, very similar to this. But apart from Zimmerman, it'd be Lovitz. I don't expect amazing things. I think Columbus score against Nashville. I don't think that they hold a clean sheet. And then we've got Tommy and Russell. Maybe Russell doesn't even start. And then Boanga, as I said, is a little bit out of form. But I mean, you look on the face of it, like that does look like a decent squad. But I was thinking of maybe a Seattle thing. Maybe get Fryer, maybe get a Yamar or a Tolo in. They've got a fixture against Orlando, I think it is, at home. So that would make this lineup, I think, a lot stronger because I really don't think Nashville keep a clean sheet. Russell had more minutes this game than he did the game before when he's coming back from injury. So hopefully he does get a start and maybe he plays 60 or 70 minutes. And then we've got Boanga in there. I don't really like playing a double forward. So potentially maybe an Espinoza comes in for a home fixture. But if I just save that so I know where I am, I want to try and squeeze a cap 240 lineup out there. So Eloy Room, I don't expect him to start, but I want him to be on the bench. And then I could go with something like a Lennon, maybe an Espinoza if he fits in there, maybe a Corey Bard, and maybe I don't even think I've got somebody to fit in there. So maybe Espinoza becomes Arta, and then maybe I've got a 45 player in here. So maybe Rosito starts, or maybe Bartlow starts ahead of Sviatchenko. So it's just a throwaway. That might work, it might not. But if I do get the Fryer, Yamar, or maybe some of the other goalkeepers and stuff that I'm looking at, if I should continue to keep spending in America and in that region, then maybe Willis comes in here with a Zimmerman, or I pick up like a Jack Mayer or somebody like that. And then this becomes at least kind of like 5 starters because hopefully the remaining points, I could take Bartlow out, put somebody in, etc. But that's what I'm looking at. Let's just go to save lineup. So as I said, my All-Star Rare side, I'm really, really looking forward to this week. The Rare Pro, if Houston keep a clean sheet, could do something. For sure, Insigne, as I said, picks up AA points, so he could do something. But Herrera would be the captain in there, and then it depends on this one as to what I do next. So, yeah, that's where I am currently with my gallery, and I think I just need to make a decision and commit to something now. So, as I said, guys, drop a comment down below. Should I be focusing, patch up the remaining bits? Yes, get another goalkeeper in America and just tidy up a little bit, maybe 3 or 4 more signings, and then move on? Do I just stop now where I am and what I've got is what I play with, and I'll start looking at Europe and start scouting there? Or do I sell a few players and then try and go into the super rare market and get myself a super rare goalkeeper and open options there? I'm not too sure at the moment, but as I always like to do, I want to be transparent with you guys exactly where I am, exactly where my head's at. So, all in all, drop a comment down below, guys. Like the video, hit the subscribe button as well. I'll see you in a week or 2.